there, all you stay tuners. Hey, listen, fuck the Eagles. I hate the Eagles. Don't get me wrong here.
First quarter, keep it even. Second quarter, start running the fucking ball. Third quarter, take a power nap. Fourth quarter, oh shit, there's the rest of the game. Let's go.
Fuck it, I'm a diabetic. I will root for the team that will literally give me diabetes and death. Rooting for a team from Hershey is like a Catholic rooting for Satan. It doesn't make any sense.
This is Stay Tuned Sports, and it starts in 3, 2, 1.
And hello there, all you Stay Tuners. Welcome back to another episode of Stay Tuned Sports. It's your good friend Jimbo here, back after a pretty exciting weekend, as far as I go. Went to the Flyers-Senators game Saturday night. It was the first time that my oldest, who is a Penguins fan, and my wife, who is a Penguins fan, got to witness Wells Fargo. This was my second game at the Farg. I don't know if there's a nickname. Don't know why I tried to make one there. But a really good game. We won 4-2 and witnessed some history with Forrester's penalty goal there. I think it was in the third period. The Flyers have the most penalty goals in a season in NHL history. So that was pretty cool. Compared to the last couple of games, it felt like they played all three periods. Second period was a little iffy. It seemed like the Senators kind of figured out the Flyers a little bit there, but we were able to, like I said, pull out the 4-2 win. Really 3-2. The fourth goal was an empty netter with just a few seconds left. But it was a cool night. It was a Marvel movie theme night. I got my picture taken with the Flyers Ice Girls, who were dressed up as Black Widow. Gritty was dressed up as Spider-Man, which was a pretty cool thing. Bought a bunch of merchandise. Probably a lot more than I probably should have. But it was a good game. And I actually got they were selling Stadium Series pucks with autographs on them. You just didn't know who you were going to get. It was like a surprise thing. So I bought one. Got Nick Sealers. As of right now, Wednesday, it's not 4 p.m. Eastern yet. 4 p.m. Eastern is the trade deadline for hockey, for NHL. Nick Sealer is still on the team, so hopefully, and from what I've been reading, we are close to assigning him to a 3-year extension. And from what I've been seeing, not a bad yearly rate either. So hopefully they get that hammered out. We did. Let me pull it up so I get the right transactions. We did make a trade so far. Walker, we traded him to Colorado for, I believe, a first-round draft pick. Sean Walker and a fifth-round selection in the 2026 draft to Colorado for Ryan Johansson and a conditional first-round selection next year. So, kind of knew, Walker was definitely going to be one of them that was going to get traded. We wanted a first-rounder. We got it. I think it's a good deal there. Just because, I think I talked about it last week. We have a couple young prospects that are over in Russia, down in the minors, lighting it up. And we want to get some pieces put around them when they get to the NHL, when they get to the Flyers. So, Walker was playing very well for us, but his contract was expiring. So you hate to see a player that's playing really well go, but we got something good in return. Something that was worth the trade. sticking with some hockey news, the Devils this past Monday, I think it was, have fired. Vladimir Tereshchenko got traded. I think he got traded to the Panthers just because I got ESPN on the TV here, see anything else comes through. But the Devils have fired Lindy Ruff. So our boy King, he's happy about it. But I have to laugh about it because, he's always saying how us Philadelphia fans are so fickle and this and that. And here they sign him to an extension in the offseason, and 3/4 of the way through this season, they fire him. Now, granted, when you pull your goalie and don't put an extra shooter out on the ice, yeah, that to me is like up there with Joe Judge from the Giants playing himself out of a job. I just don't know which one was a worse blunder. I would probably say that the Devils won, just because of not putting that sixth shooter out there to try to get back into the game. And he did it with 5 minutes left. So, I didn't see the game. Like, I wasn't watching the game, so I don't know how bad they were playing. Like, I don't know if they would have got a goal, if that would have swung the momentum back their way or what. But, yeah, definitely not good. And, I was also, like, kind of thinking about this, like, our buddy King. Since me and him became friends in 2012, the Eagles have dominated the Giants. Before that, the Giants dominated the Eagles. Eagles are still dominating the Giants. And now the Devils are playing like shit. And the Flyers are starting to play better. So it's like, I'm kind of like the curse for him for his sports teams. But speaking of the Eagles, I did a short clip on Monday. Is it Monday? Yeah, I think it was Monday. All the days are running together for me. It's kind of a hectic week. But about Jason Kelce's retirement. And since then, there's been more stories about the type of person he is. And I thought this story that came out, in case you didn't hear about it, was very touching and very, very cool. For 13 seasons, he had one sole person to tape his ankles from the training staff. No one else was allowed to do it. Before the Tampa Bay game, the trainer that would tape his ankles was diagnosed with cancer and had to have chemo done, all that type of stuff, and wasn't able to make it to the Tampa Bay game. So he wasn't able to tape Jason's ankles for his one last time, like as the last person. So if you go out there on any of the social medias, you could find it. Jason actually had his ankles taped for his press conference because that trainer just happened to be in the facility Monday. And he made sure that this trainer was the last person to tape his ankles. So, like I said, so many stories coming out. There was one on the New Heights that they aired today about the Nick Foles reference when Jason was talking about the Super Bowl and Nick going up to Doug Peterson and say, "Let's do the Philly special." It's actually funny, and spoiler. Jason asked Nick first if he could say about him having a big dick. And Nick said, "Well, hold on, let me ask my wife if that's okay." So they had to go through the proper channels to get it approved, and it did, luckily, and it was a pretty funny quote. But from what Jason said on New Heights, and I'm glad he did this. He basically said the physicality of the game has caught up to him. He knows he could play. He just... and each week over the past couple of seasons, he was able to bounce back from the game, from the physicality. But he knows it's coming where it's going to get harder and harder just to come back and play at a top level. So he wanted to go out on top. And even though he didn't go out on top as a Super Bowl winner from this past season, he was playing hell of games, right? Up until the last one. So, I mean, who knows? I mean, he could have came back next year and even had a better year than the past couple of seasons. But he made the right call. He's good with it. And it sounds like this one is definitely done, which I'm happy. Because you don't want to see a player, not even just Jason, but someone like this come back. Like look at Tom Brady. Okay, he retired, came back, didn't have as good of a season as his Super Bowl run with Tampa Bay the first time, but I mean it's Tom Brady, so he's still going to be playing good. But you take that chance of coming back and not playing as well, and letting that last season be remembered as how you played. Whereas Jason played very well last year. Other than that, the one game where he got flagged for moving the football forward, even though he was been warned for a couple seasons in a row. So it sounds like he's definitely done. He's definitely retired. He did say he's going to be around the complex. He's going to be, probably at the practices and things like that. Just won't be physically in the game. And that brings up the question of where do the Eagles go from here? Cam Jurgens is going to take over the spot of the starting center, who was our right guard last year. And, he should be it's big shoes to fill no matter who you put in there. But it sounds like he should be able to take right over and not miss a beat. This offense hopefully won't miss a beat. Cam was actually handpicked by Jason to be drafted. Sounded like Jason told Howie, told Nick, this guy could be the heir apparent of me, But now you move him to center. What do you do with the guard spot? That guard spot has been tough for us to fill since Brooks retired, I think 2 seasons ago. So we have a decent amount of top 50 picks. Do you try to draft a starting guard, first or second round? I think you definitely have to start looking at Lane Johnson. Probably only got another year or two, so you gotta get his replacement going. We're a couple old guys away from, if we don't find the backups for them, their future starters, that we're gonna put ourselves in a hole. Obviously, Jalen Hurts isn't going nowhere. A.J. Brown cleared the air. WIP is just being douchebags, trying to start stuff that really shouldn't be being started. Brandon Graham sounds like he's coming back. There's no deal there yet, but may get done before free agency. Fletcher Cox might be on his way out, but as far as he goes, I don't think we have to draft a replacement for him. We got Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter there. A lot of people are starting to talk a little bit that Jordan Davis may be the bust. I don't think he's a bust. He's not playing up to what we thought he would. But look at Brandon Graham. Brandon Graham was a bust for the first 5 seasons of his career, and then just it all clicked. And sometimes that's what happens. I kind of do agree with Aaron Rodgers and not because of just the position of quarterback, but I think with any of these positions, you gotta give these kids some time to grow into their positions, whether it's physically or mentally. Some take longer than others to have it all click. But as far as the Eagles, with Jason retiring, most likely Fletcher Cox retiring, yeah, our Super Bowl aspirations for this upcoming season definitely is taking a hit. And not saying go into a rebuild, because, we have a lot of young players. I would say lower our expectations for this upcoming season. Hey, if we make the Super Bowl, we win, great. If we make the playoffs, okay. But let's not say, hey, Super Bowl or go home. And that might not be good for Nick Sirianni. He was very close to being fired this past offseason. Bill Belichick's going to be out there. Pete Carroll's out there. Mike Vrabel's out there. So I think if we make the playoffs with the team we have right now, if we make the playoffs, I would chalk it up as a win. I'm curious to see how free agency goes. We have free agency starting next week. A lot of good running backs out there that are going to be out there for free agency. Saquon Barkley is rumored to be one of them that we're interested in. And I'd be okay with signing him as long as, if we could bring Swift back, if we could bring DeAndre Swift back and pair him with Barkley would be our bruiser. Doesn't have to play every down. And I think that's where he's at in his career, because he does get hurt a lot. He doesn't have to be that every down back. And he could also catch the ball out of the backfield and take it to the yard. Linebacker, I've been banging this drum for, Jesus, how many seasons now? I'm happy to see that we were actually sitting down talking to Jeremiah Trotter Jr. at the Combine. I would lose my shit if we draft him, if he joins the Eagles. But linebacker, definitely. Think we need another cornerback to be paired, across from Slay. Bradbury obviously wasn't the answer last year. Season before, he just had a hell of a season. It just all clicked for him. Safety-wise, I would like to see CJ come back. I was a little upset, pissed off that we let him go. And there's plenty of cap space to do this. So yeah, there are a lot of questions going in about the Eagles. Probably the most out of all the Super Bowl contenders. But we'll figure it out in the coming weeks. Pretty much, actually, by next Friday, we'll know who Philly's gonna keep and sign and all that happy stuff. But there was over the weekend, this kind of came out about the kickoff rule being changed. Still gotta get voted on by the owners, and for the most part, actually, I think sounds pretty cool. It's a little different. Let me get it up here so I could tell you guys exactly what is being proposed. So, the kickoff proposal will have the teams kicking off from the opponent's 40-yard line, which I think right now is the 35-yard line. No players except the kicker and the returner can move until the ball is touched. So that means the gunners and all them, they gotta stay put until the returner catches the ball. If the ball doesn't cross the 20-yard line in the air, it's treated as out of bounds, so it'd be a penalty. Take it to their own 40-yard line. If the kicker kicks the ball in the end zone in the air, not like bouncing in or anything, a touchback results in the ball being placed at the 35-yard line compared to the 25-yard line the past couple seasons. I like this idea because it's increasing the chances of returns, which can change the outlook of a game, can win a game, but also the safety aspect of it. You don't have all these players running full force down all at once. They're all, they're standing there waiting until the returner catches the ball, and then they're allowed to start running down and tackle them. The only rule change proposal that I do not like is the onside kick. Basically, if you're going to onside kick it, you need to tell, I guess would be the refs or the other team, that you're going to do an onside kick. No more surprise onside kicks, which that sucks. Andy Reid going for an onside kick on opening day against the Dallas Cowboys or whatever. I forget. I don't think it was Dallas Cowboys, but I'll never forget that. It was like his first game at Philly or something like that. And I just lost my shit. I thought that was cool as shit. I mean, shit, I do it on Madden. So you lose that element of surprise, which, I mean, last year alone with the onside kick, I think it was 20%, that it works 20% of the time. So I'm pretty much sure that you're going to see the onside kick is going to be gone. I mean, obviously teams will still try to do it when they're down by, 3 or 7, one score game, but it won't be. You won't see it coming. That's going away. So, trying to think what other things are going on here. So, we got UFC this weekend. Me and the wife are actually going out to see Lewis Black. I can't wait. I haven't seen him in a few years. But if the show gets over before the pay-per-view, maybe I'll jump on, do a live show for you guys, with you guys. It looks like a hell of a card. I'm a Sean O'Malley fan. Cheeto Vera destroyed him the first time around. Basically, made his leg go numb by just constantly hitting the same nerve in his leg over and over. Plenty of other fights. Michael Page makes his UFC debut against Kevin Holland. That should be a hell of a fight. So yeah, a lot of good fights on the pay-per-view, and hopefully I'll be able to get to see it. Maybe get to see it with you guys. But before I go, make sure you guys head over to our sponsor, Dubby, Dubby.gg. They have all type of energy drinks that has no sugar, doesn't give you the crash that the other energy drinks do. It's healthy. They actually have hydration drinks as well. I believe they're working on having them in cans. Just in the past couple weeks, they've released a couple new flavors. They look pretty cool. So head over to w.gg and make sure you use the promo code STSports18, all capital letters, to receive 10% off of your final purchase. That's w.gg. Be better. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you guys subscribe and like our page. Make sure you got the notifications on, so that way you get a little notification saying, hey, the boys are back. They got a show coming on, and especially if I do a Saturday night show, you guys will know when to jump on. I am working on doing a Saturday show, YouTube live show, when the USFL comes about. March 30th is the kickoff weekend, so I'm gonna hopefully we could get King on here with us to do that, kind of like what we did with the San Francisco 49er Green Bay game in the playoffs. That was pretty fun. That was pretty cool. So yeah, a lot of stuff coming up. So stay tuned. Make sure you like and subscribe our YouTube channel. Like and subscribe us on all your major podcast platforms, in case you're just listening to us and not watching. That's fine too. That's good. That's fine. No problem with that. But till next week, this is your good friend Jimbo, signing out.